Hey, what's going on, guys? Jay Stein here, doing a review of the Tapatalk application. This is available now on the iPhone, the Android systems, BlackBerry, and Nokia devices. Now, Tapatalk, in case you're not familiar, is a forum management and forum access application. It provides the ability to check private messages, upload photos directly from your camera, and the ability to search the forum universally. Now, this is what they're really marketing this as is a super fast direct forum access application, or just a native application for forum access. So let's jump right in and show you guys some of the features. Now let's take a look at the actual screen that you're faced with when you jump into the application initially. Now you're focused on a browsing screen that shows you all the public forums that have Tapatalk implemented on it and the categories that they fall into. Now, as you can see at top, there's 3,283 public forums with Tapatalk implemented, so it's a growing community. It grows every single day, and hopefully a lot of forums will actually put this on their servers because it's just a great little application and a great overall technology. Now, if you look at the top bar, you can see the forums that have recently implemented it, along with browsing the categories and searching them. So if you're a big beekeeping guy like I am, that's completely sarcasm, but no offense to beekeeping people, but you actually have a forum on here that's devoted to beekeeping itself. So as you can see, there's a pretty diverse amount of forums that are actually on here. Farmville in Italia, God forbid I ever get back on Farmville again. I wasted a semester of my college career on that game. So let's look at actually the browsing option. Now, ideally when a forum owner puts this Tapatalk implementation on their forum itself, you are forced to put it into a category, which makes it easier for people to find your forums. So let's go ahead and jump into a gaming category. Now I went ahead and before this review, or during this review when I was looking at it, I went ahead and registered on just a random forum. For this I chose the 360 place because I have an Xbox 360. I figured I'd know a little bit about what they're talking about. So let's go ahead and jump in and show you some of the features. Now you can log in from this screen actually. What I actually am going to go ahead and do is go into account. I'll go back and show you guys that in a little bit later. But you can go into your account and you can see the latest posts, all the ones that I've missed, along with I can just look at the forum itself. Now this was one I was faced with before, but I'm just going through my account right now. So I'm all logged in. You can basically browse through the categories that you would see on any forum, but they're kind of put on here so it's streamlined for the application itself. Let's jump into a random game discussion. Upcoming Xbox 360 titles. Now, Call of Duty Black Ops was recently announced, I think a few days ago. People are talking about details of it. So basically, as you can see, it's really easy to navigate through all this. I just jumped into some random thread that's talking about Black Ops detail. They're talking about where they think it is, blah blah blah. Now if I want to go ahead and reply, all I do is click that upper option up there, and now I can refresh it, I can reply it, or I can subscribe to the thread individually itself. Now if I want to go ahead and reply, just to kind of show you guys the functionality of it, I can just go ahead and say, this game, game looks cool. Now you can see it uses the regular keyboard that all the universal keyboard that is used across the whole iPhone system. So this game looks cool. I just want to go ahead and send it, and it takes a little bit to send here. As you can see, it's sent and it's on the forum topic itself. So there's my post at the bottom. Along with looking over at forums, that kind of shows you a little bit of implementation of posting and looking at forums and navigating forums a little bit itself for the end user. Now if you can go ahead and there's a couple more options. You can actually see who's online within the forum. So these are the 4 people that are online. You can see there's 4 members that are online along with 15 guests. I can also search the forum. I remember I looked at Alan Wake before when I was messing around a little bit. Looked at Alan Wake, and that's kind of a saved search in here. There's a couple more options. You can look at your private messages through this. As I said before, I'm not an active member on this forum itself, but this is where your private messages would be along with your send messages. Oops. Now if you go back, you can look at your favorites. So if you favorited or subscribed to a forum thread itself, that's where you would look for that. And then along with your profile, you can see how many posts I've done, how long I've been on here, and then I can look at my topics that I've created itself, and then my posts. and you'll see my post that I just did before showing you guys. And then you can see the statistics of the forum itself. So as you can see currently online, I showed you they have 4 members and 15 guests, and then with the statistics of the forum itself, you can see that they have 161 total members. They don't show the active members itself, I think because it's a smaller forum. And then they have the total posts, so they have 18,809, you guys can see that, and then they have the total threads, 1,688. So with bigger forums, those numbers would grow, obviously. But overall, you can kind of see the unread latest posts. So since I went back on here, this kind of updated with some latest posts. This is what's been active on the forum since I last went in there, which I believe was last night. So this shows you all the unread stuff, and you can kind of browse through that. Make sure you stay current on the forum that you're on itself. Now, if you're an actual forum owner, it's really easy to implement. I'll leave more description down in the underbar where you can check out Tapatalk's website and how to implement that exactly. But if you do implement it, you can see how your forum would show up. The 360place.com has their initial little picture there that goes along with their website and forum, and then it shows you can put in a little title and then a description. And then when you go in, you'll categorize all your initial categories in it, and then you can also go by name. And it just makes the users easier to find your stuff. And overall, just a better experience. I would really recommend this from forum owners. The big pros of it is it's supported by an active company that's constantly improving it, and it also allows users easier to keep in contact with the latest posts and news, and then they can it's free to integrate into your forum. So the application itself costs $2.99 on iPhone and Android, but implementing it into your forum itself doesn't cost anything. Now there's a few cons. You do lose a little bit of overall management, or I shouldn't say management, you lose a little bit of control implementing this on your server. You have a third party that's modifying it, and it integrates deeply in your website. It looks at all your security stuff, which is good that they implement it with your security stuff and keep that in line with what you want, but it's kind of a little different having a third party run your forum in a sense. Now, it's a little bit not as always friendly with more heavily modified sites, so if you have a custom forum, it might be a little bit harder to get this to implement with your forum. You can check all those out on Tapatalk's website itself to make sure that your forum would seamlessly implement with this. And then, since it is an outside service, it is constantly evolving, so you don't have as much control as the in-house solution, and then users must pay for the service if they want to do it through a mobile application such as this. Now, for the users itself, you have a lot to gain. Besides the price tag of $2.99, which isn't too much if you're a big forum guy, it's a pretty good bargain. You have a better forum layout, so it's quick to see stuff. As I said before, you kind of just can pop into stuff, read it. If you want to reply, it's just really easy, really good user interface. It's easier to keep up with the latest forum posts and news, and then it's one app for all your websites. So you would have your one account down below, and then you could easily just filter through all the websites that you want to see along with the latest forum posts and all that kind of stuff. But the cons with this is obviously the price, and then overall it only works with sites that have ads. Overall, I highly recommend Tapatalk. I think it's great for people who are huge forum users who love cranking out information. You're kind of one of those people who wants to crank out information on forums or reply back and forth constantly with people. This is definitely the application that you need to get. It's almost a must for anyone who is heavy into forums and people who just kind of gingerly post on forums. It's nice to get. If you're okay with the $2.99 price tag, I would highly recommend getting this application. It's great for forum management with the forum owners, and it's also great for the end user in that it's just really easy to use. But overall, this has been my review of Tapatalk. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.